If you've ever wanted to create an instant connection with someone, almost like you guys have been friends for a really long time, a really great connection that you can use when you first meet people, when you're on a sales call, or when you're in a coaching session, I'm going to share exactly how to do that in this video. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. My name is Brooke and my channel is all about helping you create a life you love. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a really awesome technique that you can use when you're creating rapport. So first, let's just talk about what rapport is. The easiest way for me to explain this is to say that rapport is a general sense of liking or connection between two people. So you know those times where you meet someone and you instantly feel like there's a connection between you, or after a little while of getting to know someone or someone getting to know you, you feel like you've been connected or been friends before, or maybe they're a little bit more suggestible to what you're suggesting to them. They're more likely to follow along, or maybe you find someone suggesting things to you and you're likely to follow along with what they're suggesting. That's rapport. When you have that kind of connection with someone that they're likely to go along with your suggestions, or you're likely to go along with their suggestions, you kind of like each other and you feel connected. This is rapport. What rapport is really, it's great for a whole lot of things, but in this sense, I'm going to talk about what it's great for in the kind of business and coaching sense. It's really important when you're getting on sales calls with people, with potential clients, and when you are on starting out your coaching session before you actually start the session, getting into rapport so that your client is suggestible and open to the things that you're suggesting to them, maybe the shifts that you're suggesting, or the stuff that you want to talk about, the tasks that you want them to have them do, the mindset shifts you want them to embrace. So rapport is really awesome. You can also use it in any other situation. So maybe you're meeting someone who is a couple of steps ahead of you in business and you want to get advice or get tips or help from them. Creating that sense of rapport between you two is going to be really important in order for them to be willing to help you and support you and give the information that you need. It's also great like when you're going to a hotel and maybe you want an upgrade, or a flight, or at the grocery store, or anything. Anytime where you're meeting someone new, you can use it in any situation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a situation where you want to get something back from a person. It could just be a time that you want to create a connection with another person and you want to do it consciously and on purpose. What I'm going to share with you is really going to help. Now, in the traditional way, in the common way people do rapport is by matching and mirroring. One second. Is by matching and mirroring. So what this means is that you follow along with what the other person is doing, you match what they're doing. So if they're like lift their arm up, you can do the same thing, crossing your legs in the same direction, a whole bunch of things where you match and mirror their movements. You can do it for their breathing, and all very subtly, of course. If you're doing it overtly, they're gonna notice and it's gonna be obvious and it's not going to work. Now, the thing with this is, especially if you're really new to this kind of stuff, you can get caught up in actually doing it so much so that you take yourself away from the conversation and what's actually happening in front of you, because you're just busy trying to like match and mirror people, like do what they're doing and think about where their arm is, and then they move it and then you move it. And it can all be very confusing. And honestly, if there's not already a bit of a sense of rapport underneath that, it's not going to have a great impact. So an easier and a much more effective and better way to do this that I love to use and also teach my clients for when they're going onto sales calls and when they're getting into coaching sessions is to think about what you have in common with the other person. So when and you don't have to be in front of the person before you're getting on your coaching call or sales call or right before. Usually if you can do it when you see them or when you have that connection, this is good to run through these things in your mind, because rapport is really about a sense of energy. People can feel energy, people can sense your energy. If you're putting out a good vibe, that is what people are going to pick up. So you need to do that on purpose, you need to do it consciously. And the way to do that is by thinking about things that you have in common with the other person, thinking about things that you think are good about them, maybe like complimenting them in your head. If you really want, you can compliment them out loud, not too much and not too obviously and not over the top, because it's just going to seem forced. But even if you're doing this in your head, they are going to pick up on this energy. So just thinking about their hair or maybe what they're wearing and thinking about how you like that, thinking about things you have in common as they're talking. You could think about the things, maybe you're getting on a sales call with someone, so you know you have that kind of thing in common, whatever you're getting on the call about. If it's like coaching stuff, if you're getting on a sales call for someone who wants mindset coaching, then obviously you guys both have personal development in common. If there's anything that comes up in the conversation that you guys have in common, just putting out that sense, that feeling of similarity and commonality, and complimenting them, putting out that good high vibe energy and giving it to them, and they will pick up on this. And again, when you're doing it in your head, it's kind of hard to do it overtly and over the top and obnoxiously, because that's what we want to avoid. If you're doing it like that, people will pick up on that obnoxious energy. It has to be sincere, it has to be sincere, and it has to be honest, and you have to feel it too. You can't just say stuff and make it up and be like, oh, I like your hair, I like your shirt. You have to actually think about things and come up with things that you like about this other person, things that you have in common, things that are similar, and complimenting them in your head. So that is the best way that I love to create rapport. That's my favorite way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. And then after that, you can start practicing matching and mirroring to get an even deeper sense of rapport. But use this first before you get into matching and mirroring, and it's really, really going to help you, and you'll have that base of rapport, so that when you do level up and start matching and mirroring, you're not constantly worrying that you don't have rapport while you're trying to create rapport. So I hope you enjoyed this tip. Super awesome and valuable for going into sales calls, for meeting new people, for starting up your coaching session before you actually start the session, or when you first get onto the call or meet up with the person. Really helpful. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.